Get ready for a deep dive into insights from 10 top XRP chart analysts in this latest update. One even predicts that the explosive rally we saw last November spilling into December could be about to repeat itself. And here's the kicker. Every single analyst I follow firmly believes two things. First, XRP is on the verge of hitting a new all-time high. Yes, after over 7 years, true price discovery might finally be here. Second, the majority agree that XRP smashing into double-digit territory this market cycle isn't just possible, it's practically a given. Even the more cautious analysts see $10.00 as a realistic target, with very few exceptions. And then there are the bullish outliers, predicting $15.00, $20.00, or even $25.00. Are they onto something? Could they be right? I don't have all the answers, but one thing's for sure, we're about to find out together. Conservative analysts might have a point, sure, but the folks who live and breathe this stuff, the ones who aren't caught up in the whole XRP drama, are confidently eyeing $10.00 and beyond. Just imagine how completely life-changing that could be for so many of you tuning in right now, if it happens. We've been in this for the long haul, years of ups, downs, and all the SEC chaos, and now it finally feels like our moment is coming. The big question is when? Well, sooner rather than later seems to be the consensus. Sure, in the short term, there might be small pullbacks across Bitcoin, XRP, and the entire crypto market, but those who stick around know the real game is just getting started. It's not going to matter in the long run. On a broader timeline, we're still moving up. We're going to get what's ours. Before diving deeper, though, let me be upfront. I'm not a financial expert. This isn't financial advice, and you definitely shouldn't make buying or selling decisions based on anything I say or write here. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves making YouTube videos about this stuff. It's purely a hobby and just for fun. As I record this, it's 8:03 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday, April 29, 2025. XRP is sitting at $2.24, and Bitcoin is at a mind-blowing $94,469.00. Just recently, it almost hit $96.00, so close, maybe just a hair shy a couple of days ago. Still, these numbers are making waves. XRP once soared to $2.35, but let's shift focus. Check out this eye-grabbing Cointelegraph headline. Bitcoin targets $115,000.00 as supply metric nears historic euphoria zone. As of April 28th, a remarkable 86.9% of all Bitcoin holdings were in profit. Bitcoin coins, let's just say on-chain data from CryptoQuant reveals a fascinating trend. When this profit metric reaches the 85-90% range, it often signals a shift from healthy optimism to full-blown speculative euphoria. Take October to December 2024, for example. Bitcoin's price rocketed from $80,000.00 to over $100.00 as the profitable supply surged from below 80% to an incredible 99%. History repeating itself, it wouldn't be a shock. Bitcoin is smashing through new all-time highs, and guess what? Nearly everyone who bought in is now in profit. Almost 100% of investors worldwide. But of course, that only holds while it stays at the peak. Even a slight dip shifts those numbers. Still, the bigger picture is clear. These moments in Bitcoin's history often signal that the next major move is brewing. And that's exactly what everyone's watching for. I wanted to highlight this because it adds even more weight to the anticipation. Chart analyst Tech Dev recently shared an intriguing post, Rare Bitcoin Inflection Loading. He's been diving deep into this chart, showing liquidity, that key middle line, and Bitcoin's price action up top. Let me keep emphasizing this point, and he's going to keep bringing it up too. As liquidity increases, and it is increasing, those extra funds in the hands of businesses and individuals inevitably end up somewhere. When liquidity grows, a portion of that money flows into risk-on assets like stocks and cryptocurrencies. It doesn't happen instantly. There's usually a lag about 10 to 12 weeks. But if you look closely, liquidity is on the rise. The pattern is clear. Most of the time, Bitcoin tends to follow. It's not a perfect correlation. I've highlighted this before. Over the last decade, it's not foolproof, but it's a strong trend. The majority of the time, they move together. So if you're wondering, will Bitcoin follow this trend? Betting on yes is usually the right call. Again, it's all about confluence. Check this out. Chart analyst Mustache just dropped a gem. He's talking about the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin Akika, the Total 2 chart. According to him, Total 2 has not only reclaimed the 100-week EMA, but also broken through a 1.5-year-old trend line. Bullish vibes, anyone? Q1's dip, just a deviation, he says. Stuff like that happens in charting. Makes you wonder, though, if all the tariff drama and uncertainty made it worse. If without that noise, maybe there wouldn't have even been a dip. But hey, that's the past. Now things are looking up. And there's more. Charting Guy chimed in with his take on the total 3 chart, crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and ETH. His advice, if there's a pullback in mid-May, it could be your last chance to buy at decent prices. Oh, and he's got a hot take. XRP might just be gearing up for a major breakout. Can't recall his exact prediction, maybe $8.00, or is it closer to $10.00? Honestly, I need to double check. Either way, it's not the key point. What matters is his strong belief in XRP's price discovery and the broader crypto market's expansion. He's confident it's coming. Sure, there might be one last pullback, maybe lasting a couple of weeks, but he doesn't see it as a certainty, just a possibility. And if it happens, he views it as an opportunity. Eventually, whether we've already seen the final dip or it's still ahead, the market is primed to push upward. Here's something interesting from Malleus, a post about the crypto total market cap excluding the top 10 coins. It's a dominance percentage chart. Shaka, the others ID chart for dominance. This chart suggests the others category is well positioned for a potential breakout. And honestly, this aligns with the patterns I keep noticing again and again. Though many analysts are saying the same thing, even if it's not happening right this second, and even if there's another dip, the signs are clear. Things are primed to move higher. With XRP outperforming the broader crypto market, what does that tell us? It probably means it's finally heading toward price discovery, the moment we've all been waiting for. And what about Ethereum? Its price has been stuck in the gutter, leaving many investors feeling discouraged. This kind of price action tends to shake people's confidence. Just like we saw with XRP, remember how so many had written off XRP, especially throughout 2024. But I've always said that when prices sink that low, that's often when the biggest opportunities arise. I stood by that throughout 2024. And sure enough, when the market heated up, XRP it became the best performing coin in the top 100 post-election. Should that really surprise anyone? XRP spent years artificially suppressed. And now that those restrictions are gone, it's just playing catch up. Just because Ethereum's price has taken a nosedive doesn't mean it's game over. Price alone isn't the ultimate indicator of a cryptocurrency's long-term potential. Remember, in the world of crypto, ups and downs are part of the ride. A low price doesn't justify staying bearish forever. It's all about the bigger picture. Here's why this matters. If Ethereum has truly hit its bottom, history tells us the entire market could be gearing up for an epic altcoin season. Bottoming out often signals the start of a market-wide rally, which means good news not just for Ethereum, but for coins like XRP too. Could this be the moment? Crypto Wizard himself seems to think so. He calls it a historical bottom, pointing out how Ethereum's chart mirrors Tesla's moves with uncanny accuracy. The more bearish you are, the more bullish I am, he says. With Ethereum on one side and Tesla on the other, these charts tell a compelling story, one that could mark the start of something big. So he's got confidence, no doubt about that. Here's one for you from the Crypto Wizard himself. It's an XRP/BTC chart, and the rest of this breakdown, all XRP. Buckle up, let me repeat. When it can't break down, there's only one direction up. It is XRP/BTC is pushing to break out of a falling wedge within an asymmetrical triangle after a fake out move. This pattern, incredibly bullish. It's only a matter of time for XRP. Look at the chart. Bullish triangle breakouts are written all over it. A breakout here could send XRP rocketing lower on the chart. He labels the fake out attempt reversing with a falling wedge breakout. It's just a matter of time, folks. When exactly will happen, no one knows, but it's coming. And here's another one, a fresh XRP/BTC chart, this time from Charting Guy himself. His take, XRP/BTC has been stuck moving sideways for 5 months. What if wave 4 is mirroring wave 2? Take a look. He's overlaid a fractal here, and it's clear. Wave 4 would essentially replicate wave 2, just shift it down, and boom, you've got a potential roadmap. If this pattern plays out, the impact on XRP valued in US dollars could be absolutely massive. And guess what? History backs this up. Great movement. In the last 2 cycles, XRP surged, then spent about 6 months consolidating before skyrocketing again. So could what started in November be gearing up for a repeat? Just look at how long XRP has been consolidating. It's a sign of serious strength. The saying goes, the wider the base, the higher in space, meaning the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. And XRP, Well, it might just be gearing up for something explosive. Just wait, everyone. This story is far from over. Check out this post from chart analyst Dom. XRP versus the altcoin market, total 2. When you compare XRP to the broader altcoin market, the chart paints a fascinating picture. XRP is holding its ground like a champ. We've seen a 400% rally followed by 3 months of sideways movement. It looks nothing like the previous market top since 2020. Crazy, right? Now let's talk short term. Take a look at these XRP Total 2 charts. They show what's unfolded this year and a glimpse into most of 2024. The strength here is just unreal. Now swap in almost any other altcoin on this chart and denominate it in Total 2. What do you get? A sharp drop off, cratering downward, especially through 2025, but not XRP. It's the top performer, no question. Let's rewind about 5 years to see why. Back in 2024, as it was hitting rock bottom, I kept saying this was the moment. XRP looked terrible against Bitcoin, terrible against the market as a whole. But moments like that, that's where opportunity hides. In this case, we're looking at Total 2. That was the sweet spot, the point of maximum potential. Was it the exact bottom? Who could say? Nobody knew for sure, but it was close. Fast forward to now, and we're in a similar setup. The difference, this time the next phase means price discovery and breaking new all-time highs. Here's a post from chart analyst Sally Martinez with more insights. XRP seems to be on the verge of breaking out from an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a potential upside target between $2.70 and $2.90. In the short term, the outlook appears bullish, but let's be clear. This may not mark the all-time high or even the peak of the cycle. After all, XRP has already shattered its previous record, setting a new all-time high recently. Yesterday afternoon, a cryptos post caught my attention. XRP's 4-hour closed below resistance. A move to lower support is likely. And well, it played out exactly as expected. Over 24 hours later, XRP dipped slightly, nothing dramatic, but the move aligned with the prediction. What's exciting is that analysts are still calling for a massive breakout in price discovery in this cycle. Take chart expert Crypto Tony, for example. He's holding his long position firmly above $2.00, signaling confidence in what's ahead. Over the past 6 weeks, it seems like he's been sharing the same thing on repeat, which is totally fine. Just goes to show his conviction hasn't wavered. Cue this post from X-Force Global, a simple XRP with a question. What do you think is coming? The chart hints at XRP climbing close to $28.00. Bold, right? Plenty of analysts are eyeing that kind of target, though whether it happens is still up in the air. Maybe the more cautious predictions are closer to the truth. Who knows? But for those who've been in the game for years, anything in that range could be absolutely life-changing. And it's not just wild speculation. Many analysts confidently predict XRP hitting double digits, $10.00 or more. That's not exactly outlandish. Take this post from Mikey Bull Crypto earlier today. XRP massive expansion incoming with $4.00 to $6.00 as a potential target. And he's clear, it doesn't mean that's the peak. Here's an interesting take. Back on March 14, Mikey Bull Crypto posted about XRP potentially hitting as high as $10.00 this market cycle. Bold prediction, right? Chart analyst Cryptolica backs this up, pointing to patterns on his chart suggesting XRP could surge to $9.00, $10.00. He's drawing parallels to the 2017 rally, claiming history might just repeat itself. And it's not just them. Headlines like massive breakout brewing, XRP 1-week bull flag could launch price towards $10.00 are swirling around. This from the Crypto Basic highlights yet another analyst forecasting big moves for XRP. Honestly, I've been searching for a bearish chart analyst, but it's like spotting a unicorn. Nearly impossible. The bullish sentiment is everywhere and it's hard to ignore. And unless you're dealing with folks suffering from a case of XRP derangement syndrome, it seems even they have gone unusually quiet. Why? Because they've been caught with egg on their faces. XRP has been outperforming everything, and now they're suddenly mum. Funny how that works, right? Anyway, there's an analyst known as Science or SCI pointing out that XRP is showing a bull flag formation, a classic signal for a breakout. Their prediction, XRP is targeting $10.00. And honestly, with all these double-digit projections popping up, I wouldn't be shocked to see it happen. Not one bit. Then there's chart analyst C Great Crypto chiming in. XRP is entering a blue ocean with targets of $9.50, $17.00, and $27.00. Simple as that. A massive green mega candle is apparently on the horizon as posts keep mentioning the same thing. We're swimming with sharks right now. And here's the deal with sharks. You either take them out or they'll chew you up. And with XRP futures in the mix, volatility is just part of the game now. Prices rise, patterns repeat. This isn't new. If history echoes itself like it did in the last 2 cycles, XRP sat stagnant for about 6 months with some wild swings. Volatility is its middle name. Then it took off. If history's about to rhyme again, now feels like the moment for that spark. Analysts predicting a surge later this year, August, September, October, might just be onto something. Sure, it'd be great if it happened sooner, but what's a few more months? After all, I've already been in this game for over 7 years. I'll wait as long as it takes. Patience is key, right? But wait a second. Worst case, we're talking about holding out until fall. Honestly, I can't shake the feeling that we're still on track for that epic, euphoric blow off top this cycle. Missing that would just seem, well, kind of absurd. Anyway, there's plenty of reason to stay optimistic about what's ahead. Just a quick reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. Seriously, don't make any decisions, buying, selling, or otherwise, based on anything I say or write. That would be a really, really bad move.